Part 1. The Return. When Daniel Langley inherited the old family house on Hemlock Lane, he hadn't been back in over 2 decades. The place had been empty since his parents vanished when he was 10 years old, a mystery the police never solved. After years of foster care and therapy, Daniel had all but erased the house from his memory, or so he thought. As he stepped over the threshold, a rush of cold air met him, and something deeper stirred in his mind, a flicker, a shadow, a whisper from beneath consciousness. The house was exactly as the town had described it, untouched, sealed in time, and heavy with the scent of mildew and rot. The floral wallpaper peeled in the corners. Dust draped the furniture like a burial shroud. But it was the upstairs bedroom, his old bedroom, that seemed most preserved. The door creaked open to reveal a room that hadn't changed since 1995. Same blue curtains, same twin bed, even the same stuffed rabbit slouched against a pillow. Daniel froze. He didn't remember bringing the rabbit here. He didn't remember leaving it. Part 2. The Sound Beneath. The first few nights were uneventful, apart from strange creaks in the walls and the occasional sensation of being watched. Daniel chalked it up to the house settling and his own unresolved anxiety until the 4th night. He woke at 3:33 a.m. to the sound of murmuring, not loud enough to understand, not close enough to locate. It rose from somewhere in the house, maybe the floorboards, maybe the pipes. He checked the hallway, the bathroom, the basement. Nothing. But when he returned to his bedroom, the stuffed rabbit was sitting upright on the desk, facing the door. He hadn't moved it. Part 3. The Voice in the Wall. Daniel set up audio recorders the next day. He needed evidence. Either he was losing his grip on reality, or something was truly wrong with the house. The recordings began normal. The faint hum of wind, a rustling mouse in the wall. But around 3:30 a.m., a low rhythmic tapping began. Then a voice, soft and childlike. "Remember me, Danny? We used to play here." He dropped the recorder. He hadn't been called Danny since he was a child. He played the recording again. The voice wasn't his. It wasn't his parents'. It sounded eerily similar to his own voice, but younger. Part 4. The Room That Shifts. The next morning, the bedroom was different. The curtains were red instead of blue. The wallpaper had changed. The rabbit was gone. Daniel stumbled back. His heart raced. Either he was going mad, or time was folding in on itself. He called a childhood friend, Melanie, who lived nearby. She agreed to visit, out of concern more than belief. "Danny," she said, walking through the upstairs hallway, "this place feels wrong, like we shouldn't be here." He opened the door to the bedroom to show her, but it had changed again. It was no longer his bedroom. It was a nursery. Melanie stepped back. "That's not right. That wasn't there 5 seconds ago." They both left the house for the night. Part V. The Past That Breathes. Daniel couldn't sleep. He kept seeing the room behind his eyes. He dreamt of being a child again, hiding in the closet from something faceless, something that whispered his name through the walls. In the dream, he held the stuffed rabbit like a talisman, and it told him secrets in a child's voice. When he woke, he was holding the rabbit. It had returned. Part V. Melanie Vanishes. Melanie returned to the house the next day, determined to record what they saw. She brought cameras, EMF readers, and salt. She'd watched enough ghost shows to feel prepared. At 3:33 a.m., the door to the bedroom slammed shut. Daniel banged on it, screaming her name. Inside, he heard her voice shouting back, and then silence. He burst through. The room was empty. No Melanie, no equipment, just the rabbit, sitting where she had stood. He called the police. They found no trace of her ever being there. Her phone disconnected. Her social media vanished. It was like she'd never existed. But Daniel remembered. The house remembered too. Part 7. Truth Unearthed. Desperate, Daniel began researching the property's history. He found a journal hidden in the attic, belonging to his mother. The last entry, dated July 3rd, 1995, read, "Daniel has been talking to someone in the walls again. He says it's his other friend. We thought it was imaginary, but things move when no one's looking. I hear footsteps in the attic. Sometimes I think he's not our son anymore." The entry ended with a single line scratched in frantic handwriting. "The room remembers. It always remembers." Daniel fell to his knees. His parents hadn't left him. They had been taken. Part 8. The Memory Trap. Daniel set up one last experiment. He wired the house with motion sensors, timers, and alarms. He carried the rabbit and spoke aloud. "I remember now. I remember you, but I want to see you." 3:33 a.m. came. The room shifted. He saw himself as a boy, playing alone, talking to the rabbit. Then his mother entered, yelling, terrified. The walls rippled like water, and a shadow swallowed her. The boy never flinched, because the boy wasn't him. It was the other ... Daniel backed away. The rabbit turned its head. "Now you understand," it whispered. "You left, I stayed. And now I'll remember you." Part 9. Escape. Daniel ran. He burned the rabbit. He torched the room. He watched as the house screamed without sound, twisting, recoiling. The fire department found him on the lawn, unconscious. They said the house had been empty. No evidence of recent habitation, no sign of fire. Daniel tried to move on. He left Hemlock Lane, changed his name. But every night, at exactly 3:33 a.m., his phone buzzes. An unknown number. No voice, just a whisper. "Remember me, Danny. I still remember you."